Okay, back at trying to get some stuff done on this Mustang as we're waiting for parts for some of our other stuff that we're working on. I got the upper moldings here all removed. This did have some of those fancy vent shades, so we got those off. Busy working on popping the mirrors are off too, so gonna try to get these doors pulled off. With the way the season's going and the time that I'm gonna have, I'm basically looking to try to get the back half of this. Maybe I'll come down through here and I'll paint down below, get these door jambs trimmed out, the rear quarters, the roof out around the trunk lid, get that stuff painted, get our doors done, get them back on, and get the fenders painted, along with like the bumpers and some of the other stuff separately, and just cross our fingers and hope there's a good enough paint match. But we're kind of stuck right there at that moment, so today we're going to get these doors pulled, maybe get a lot of stuff out of the interior because we got to get these windows removed, and you have to pull the interior out to get those. Get these doors off, try to get these door jambs prepped, maybe, you know, work on getting these doors sanded down, getting some primer on, see if we can find anything that's messed up. This one here, looks like we got one here, one down there on the very bottom. You know, nothing too major, just a grind and a spot fill. I think a lot of this, with as thick as some of this paint is, a lot of these will come right out. I actually I want to strip all of this off. As you can see, it's still, you know, I had everything off of here, but now we're still at the point where we still have some wanting to come off there. Like I said, that was painted in 1998. We got some starting to come loose here. Right through here we have some, and you can see there's like this clear was probably like a little dry right in this area. The bottom of this driver's door looks okay. Maybe back there toward the back it's got a little wave, and then it's weird, like a lot of these cars, they all end up with like a dent or something right in here. This one has a small one. There is a little bit of damage here around this door lock, it looks like, so we'll have to address that stuff, which was probably from a bad door latch at one time, and you know, just continuously pushing on it. But we got a lot of stuff we got to strip off of here. This is even low for me grinding that rust out that was there. So that's where we're at today. Basically, for the doors, when you're doing these, you have pop rivets. Usually bang the centers out a while, then you can drill these, you can get the door handles off. Your wiring goes through, so we're going to get that unplugged, as I have all new stuff to replace this, so these whole doors can be stripped down to nothing. And then we'll pull these 6 bolts out here and take the door completely off, and I have a table I'm going to set it on, and then we can start actually working on it. We can get the doorknob removed, the door lock. These moldings look like they're pretty good, pretty straight. Nothing's pulling up. It's got a little bit here, which I should do something with, but I believe this side's going to be fine. So we're going to get everything sanded down, get this side prepped for some primer. Definitely making some headway here. And dirty seat, but you know what I mean. Like I said, I haven't done nothing with this car. Here's something that's kind of thinks funny from sitting for so long. Speaker's totally done. Had to take the speaker cover off, get this A-pillar cover. We popped this off. I did pull out all the screws. I popped this back. I have all of my bolts out now for my window. I took some glass cleaner, just got this stuff cleaned up. So we got a couple spots here we're going to sand out, along with right here, so we can get this stuff prepped. Little piece there. You can see where the overspray line is from the last time this was painted, right along there, and a little bit right here we're going to address. I'm going to pop this out. I'm definitely going to be taping over this OEM label there. Actually looks still pretty decent shape, no damage, so we're going to kind of try to do what we can to protect that. We'll pull this striker plate off. If you notice, it is missing the little plastic cover, but I have all that stuff new, so there's no problems there. I pulled out the plug. So anyway, with that being said, let's come over here in case there's some people that might be watching this that didn't ever tear one of these apart. So I started moving some of my stuff out of here. But anyway, to remove the door, you have 4 bolts in your sill plate. These typically have a push clip up here. Most of the time that is gone. There is a screw here, and you can get these out. It's tight with that other setup. There's extra wire and stuff in here. We're going to be deleting and fixing a lot of stuff. And I'll probably be replacing this older pod setup. Hopefully I still have a nicer one of these. If not, I'll have to do something different. But there's a screw here, and typically there's a screw down here. These do go underneath these. Sometimes there's screws here. Most of the time Ford did not put them in. They just kind of pop down out. Got old insulation dust up in there, so they pop out. Yeah, you can see there's a screw here, but this is already long since broke. This tab here is broke off. I'm sure there's nothing here from when I had this apart 15 years ago. Here's my, look at that, there's my razor blade that I kept in the car so that I could scrape off the week prior's numbers down at the drag strip. So that's kind of funny to see. I actually know what that's for. This speaker here looks like it held up a little bit better. I'm not even sure what brand they were, but man, you're talking 10-15 years ago. So, but with that being said, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this off. I don't even remember what wiring, what vacuum lines, whatever goes in here. Now when you come around to the back, you'll see screw, 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 screw. I popped that upper piece off, you can see, all right. And then I don't have the correct seat in here. Like I said, I have the stuff. I'm gonna make these seats do something. I'm trying to decide. I'm probably gonna order the kit from LMR and do like a refresh on these panels and paint them red, and then see what I got to do to two-tone this back. I already had purchased the rear deck cover in black, so I'll be redoing the taillight. I'm going to do a red, probably a red and black over. I'm going to order new seat belts. These, I mean, seat belts are a big safety concern. They already need these replaced down here, so they'll come with the new seat belts. Not only that, you can see these are faded. They're also, my goodness, 1989 seat belts. So they're just as old as the car, so it's a good idea to refresh your seat belts, safety's sake. And I think I'm getting carpet, but that we're getting out of what we're trying to get at here. So we're just going to move this panel so we can get to these bolts here. I did undo the seat belt over there to actually get this off. These pop right up out. Yeah, so I'll use a little screwdriver, and I just kind of pop on the side and lift these out. And then these are like a T45, T47 Torx. I can get rid of the rest of this plastic junk and just throw that in the garbage. But that's what we got to do to remove this. That way we can get up in here. We're going to be pulling this down apart so that we can get up in here and get everything prepped around this door jamb for paint. Like I said, we're going to try to do this whole back half here all at one time, and that way it's done. It's out of the way, everything's painted. We can get a lot of the interior stuff back together. I know I'm still going to have a lot of the stuff out because I still have to order stuff for the interior, but right now with the end of the season coming, you know, we really have to worry about getting stuff done. As far as temperature wise, it's actually really nice today. Today would be a perfect day to paint. I might throw down some primer, get this stuff cleaned up, taped up, and then maybe work on some of these doors. Actually, I have the other one outside. So also the when you come up here, you have this wire pulls out. Okay, the problem is there should be two of these up in here. That's for the rear harness. I think it'll be this one, and then this one right here. Okay, this one runs all your power windows. This one here is for the speakers, and this right here is for the power mirrors, which you can kind of see blue, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow. Everything was just so much simpler on these older cars when it come to this stuff. I think I probably had the speaker stuff. I have a little tiny pick. I go in behind here very gently, and I'll pull these apart. I'll probably double check everything. I mean, like I said, stuff is getting old. I could see a little bit of corrosion down in here, so I'll have to clean that plug out. Hopefully there's no major damage. It's just all typical stuff with an older car. It would be kind of nice. Like I said, I know there's different things available now. This is an aftermarket replacement carpet. The biggest problem with that, as you can see, we have some discoloration. I think, yeah, this side right there. It went from a red to a nasty, like mustard yellow color. So the carpet is getting replaced. I do have the original carpet. It was not bad. It was just a little dirty. This was just new carpet that I got cheap at the time, so I threw it in. Like I said, the interior needs to be completely redone. Long term, I'll probably end up with different seats, front and rear, and redo some upholstery. Like I said, I'll probably end up keeping the red. It would really be nice if it was black interior, but this is what we have to roll with. I'm not really a fan of painting stuff, let alone painting it black or painting it red. I don't know how that stuff holds up now. I just seen too many bad jobs that people did back in the day. So we're just gonna have to go from there. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of this stuff off. I'm gonna pull this out. These are 15 mil. That way that's out of the way. I'm gonna do that also. That pulls apart really easy. I'm gonna get this unplugged. Typically what I like to do is shut my door. Then I'll come over here. These are 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter. I kind of work myself out. I get almost all of them out. I let the top one in, then I come down and get the bottom one. Then you can hold your leg against it and then get the top, and then you can go back and open the door handle and actually remove the entire door. So that's what we're going to do now. I've actually pulled a bunch of these many years ago when we used to part these cars out. Usually this stuff here, it's always best to do this when it's hot, sunlight. It's kind of hard to do it when it's cold. They don't like to come out as easy. I just kind of get under here really easy, and I mean, this window is not perfect, but I really don't want to damage it either. So just slowly pulling up on this thing, gently working my way around. These are safety tempered glass, so they will, when they shatter into a million pieces. So you really don't have too much worry, you know, of getting hurt. Like that. Whatever you do, just make sure you have all of the bolts off. And just slowly pull. Just like that. Now, what I'll do here, I mean, I'm not using this, but I used to just reinstall these if we needed one. So we would just keep one. I would reinstall this goo. I mean, it's not bad. It's got to come off my car anyway, regardless. But just, it kind of rolls off. You can kind of like use your thumb and roll it. Just watch. This one here's got a lot of sharp spot welds. But the window's removed now. So I'm just going to get this cleaned up. Give it a quick wipe. Like that. But what I'm going to do, there's a real sharp piece right there. That is, so I don't get caught on it. It's just a spot weld, which is just typical for the older cars like this. So all I'm doing is just window cleaner. It's not anything. Good for prepping. Good for getting this stuff off. There was actually some silicone here that somebody did at one time thinking it was fixing a leak. It's got to get cleaned off there. I mean, if you were doing this outside and you had everything ready, you'd obviously be using super water. I'm just trying to avoid a big mess. Plus, this works just fine. Also, I can get most of it because we want to have a nice good edge underneath our window when we do our paint job. Nothing bad. You can see the other side here. This is where the quarter was leaded, and here's on the back side. You can see that little bit there. That's just how they used to do it. We'll get this all cleaned up. I did start grinding on some of this little bit of rust that was in here. Yeah, I'm getting dust and dirt inside my car, which sucks, but everything inside here needs to be removed and cleaned and reinstalled. So as long as it's just some dust, we're good. We're not hurting anything. So I'm going to finish getting this side cleaned up, and then the plan is to try to get this sanded. I'll tape off this area, and I'm going to spot prime in, like probably here. I'll probably hit this stuff with some little bit of primer. This turned out to be really bad. I'm going to be ordering new plates that go in behind here from LMR. They do offer them. I did see them before, but I just double checked. So they do have them. The worst part is about that is I think a stash has to come out to get this top one replaced. It's just been too many years since I've replaced these years ago. Bolts used to snap many moons, but they used to snap. So, but the plan is we'll get all this primed over into this area, and then we can paint. Like I said, I'll tape this off probably here and paint back. You know, I want to make sure I get seam sealer in here because I had some rust right in here, which I did grind it out pretty good. So I'll probably pick at this here just a little bit more before I put seam sealer on. You know, and just take care of the stuff. There was a little bit of silicone in here. Somebody put it one time of this car's life, thinking that they were stopping a leak. Like I said, there was a little bit here. But we got to get all that off. Not much more here to do. And down to sanding, you know. I mean, there's just this little piece here that's painted black, which is going to be pretty easy. I'll have to paint that at the same time I end up painting the door tops around here. But this door came off all right. Like I said, it did have previous damage. I pointed that out in one of the other videos, but it's been like that a really long time. It was like that when I bought this car. So, and that was 20 years ago. I should have probably got another door. So here we are, man. I'm just going to get this stuff cleaned up, do a little bit of sanding, get everything blended in, and we'll get this thing taped up to prime. And then we can start working on getting everything else blocked off on this car and getting it ready to paint. We got everything dusted. Right now I'm going to mix up a little bit of primer, basically fill this area in like along this edge so we can back sand it, and then touch up any of these spots that are down through here. Get some more primer on this. These are ordered and on the way, so I'll have new ones there. Just get a little bit more primer up here. Just kind of, you know, primer's not bad. There's nothing really that needs to be hid. I figure I'll dust these quick. We got this side over here ready to go. Kind of just, and then hopefully this dries enough tonight, because I'm probably going to try to let this thing down, and I'll start blocking the roof out and the quarter panels and across the back, and get the trunk lid removed and get it to the point where hopefully, you know, maybe not tomorrow, maybe the next day, we'll have everything ready and this stuff can get pushed out and painted. All right, well, we got good coat of primer on them. I did pull some of the stuff off. Everything seems to look pretty good. Stuff does dry. I mean, primer dries really fast. You can see it's like dried on it. I actually laid a little bit here on this lip because it needed some. Still, I just figured I'd build it up, use it up. All done, all primed. It'll fill in this rust here pretty good. I mean, it is what it is. This stuff here will have to get sanded out some more. Now over here on the passenger side, everything was a lot nicer. There wasn't as much rust over here. Everything came out really nice. Laid up through here, filled this in, filled that in. You know, pretty decent. Looks really good. Laid it in heavy here. Fill these edges back in, across there. And then I dusted some more here because I know it needed it. So, basically, I guess tomorrow, get everything cleaned up out of here. Drop it down, push it outside. I'll just start sanding it outside tomorrow morning in the sun and see how far we get. It's supposed to be a pretty busy weekend. So, we'll just have to see how far. We'll just have to see how far we get with the Mustang. Pushed out, sanded. I mean, it still will start and move. That was something that I wasn't going to break down as of just yet. Man, it's just, there's so much more that needs done. I'm trying to do this right, trying to make sure that everything's decent. So I guess I'm just going to order a new front bumper because this one was broken, and then I'll order a new set of plates for the door there. That way that's ready to go. It's either work on sanding this to get it painted, and maybe I'll work on sanding some of the other stuff, whether it's the fenders or it's the hood or the bumpers or something. Just really try to get stuff painted. It would be nice to do, you know, maybe have this thing pushed out and do the back half of this, and then maybe do like the inside of the doors and the underneath of the hood and the underneath of the trunk lid. Get all that stuff done at one time. But I think these doors are just going to take so much more time to get sanded out. I got to pull everything apart basically. There's a lot here. Like I said, we have all new trim. I might as well pull the windows out. Door handles got to come off. Door locks got to come off. Might as well pull the wiring harness out. I can drill out the pop rivet for the lock solenoid down here. That needs to come out. You know, I can pop all this trim out here that runs up across because I have all that new. The motors, I got new window motors to go in it. Just a bunch of stuff. And it sucks when you, there's no way to really not do it that way. Basically I'll lay it on the table or on two sawhorses. I'll get the inside prepped, and then I'll have to lay it on the other side. And hopefully, you know, the stuff dries good enough, and then I can get everything sanded and do the other side. But that's for another one. Hopefully, you know, this little bit here, pulling stuff apart to know how to do it, kind of helps somebody. And that's pretty much what it is. The primer I used, if you want to see, was, it's the Shop Line 1K primer. 1K acrylic light gray primer, and you mix it 1-to-1 with the thinner. No, that's not it. That's the cleaner. There we go, the 1K primer. 502 and 233. I've been using this stuff for a bunch of years. Here's the old one that I had. Just letting it dry out before I throw it in the trash can. That way nothing gets spilled anywhere.